Hello students, let's start our today's lecture by the discipline Ecology of Plants and Animals and Biogeography. Today's our lecture number 2. The theme of our lecture is light is an environmental factor. Plan of today's our lecture is the first is general characteristics of light, light mode of habitat and the concept of light content of plants. The purpose of the lecture to form students' knowledge about ecological groups of plants influenced by the light. What is the light? Light is the most important environmental factor. If you see in this picture, you can see that how the light is influenced to the plants. So all living organisms need energy coming from outside to carry out vital process. So plants are the two of the living organisms which need the energy from the sun. Its main source is solar radiation, which accounts for about 99% of the Earth's total energy balance. It provides light and heat on the planet, without which the existence and the vital activity of various organisms are impossible. The effect of ultraviolet radiation in environmental and biological analysis. Two ranges of environmental radiation are distinguished of two types. The first is ultraviolet A, and the second is ultraviolet B. Ultraviolet A, with the valences from 1.31 to 1.38 microns, covers about 90% of total ultraviolet radiation in the medium. This radiation easily penetrates into the depths of the tissues of organisms, so in the plant tissues. Ultraviolet B, with the valence of the 0.29 and 0.31 microns, is an important component of the direct solar irradiation. The intensity of ultraviolet irradiation depends on the angle of incidence of sunlight and the altitude above sea level. This radiation is used by green plants for the synthesis of vitamin D and causes the presence of certain pigments in plants. Artificial with natural of exposures. Contact with ultraviolet. In this picture you can see that the natural ultraviolet solar and the ultraviolet by the human works. Contact with the ultraviolet radiation develops resistance to its action in plants. Plants grown under the conditions of artificial radiation without the participation of ultraviolet radiation are significantly less resistant to the action of the rays plants in daily contact with them. Light mode habitat and the concept of life content of plants. Based on the indicators of light content, they include the types of plants. We know that all plants need the light of the sun, solar light. So we have the ecological groups of plants which depends on the light level. The first level is the light loving, or we can say the heliophytes plants. They are the plants of open, constantly well light habitats. These types of plants, they are love the solar light. So heliophytes often have shoots with shortened internates, strongly branching of rosettes. The leaves of heliophytes are usually small or with a dissected leaf blade. with the thick outer wall of the epidermal cells, often with a waxy coating or dense pubescences with a large number of stomata per unit area, often submerged with a dense network of veins with well-developed mechanical tissue. In this picture, you can see the types of plants which love the solar light. We can say they are included into the heliophytes. Next group of ecological group of plants is the shade-tolerant or facultative heliophytes. In this picture, you can see the types of plants which includes these types, facultative heliophytes. They like solar light, but in some times they can live in the small solar light, but they grow well in the light. They are easier than other plants to rebuild under the influence of changing light conditions. These plants have, depending on the degree of shade tolerance, they have adaptive features that bring them closer to heliophytes than to theophytes. This group of including some meadow plants, forest grasses, trees, clearings, edges, and other plant types. This group of ecological group of plants, we can say the shade lovey or theophytes. Theophytes are plants of the lower tiers of shady forests, caves, and deep sea plants. They do not tolerate strong illumination, but by direction sunlight, these are plants that are constantly in condition of strong shading. For these plants, the limits in 100%, they are facultative and obligate theophytes. The leaves of the theophytes, you can see in the picture of the arranged horizontally. They leave mosaic of the well expressed. Their leaves are dark green. You can see in the picture the leaves, the color of their leaves is dark green. The larger or thinner the cells of epidermis are larger than other groups of plants, and the walls and the circle of contain chloroplasts. So, in this lecture, we studied about the ecological plants of the ecological groups of plants of the influence in the light. So, I think it's enough for today. Thanks for attention.